Where's the battle one sound?
Rye?
Yes.
Well, that's a perfect opportunity for Rye's phone to go off.
I know, right?
Hold on. What is it? Text message?
It's notifications, text, Discord, whatever.
I can do it. Hold on.
Where is my phone anyway?
I don't know.
Yeah,
So
probably in
anyway.
the room. Oh well.
Well, take this time to go get it.
You know, it would be easier to just play the thing off of YouTube.
Anyway, so now you have the corpses of 3 skeletons at your feet.
Cool.
Each one was armed with a short bow, although one of the short bows is now broken.
I just want a good short bow and some ammo.
Well, you're in luck.
Plenty of him.
Digging through everything, each skeleton had a quiver of 20 arrows.
Nice. Does anyone object to me taking the arrow?
I would like as well. I currently have no way to attack at distance.
Oh, okay.
And 12 silver pieces.
I'll gladly split the arrows with you.
Thank you.
And 6 gold pieces.
Damn.
And what's interesting as you sort of pick through the quivers, you notice a special slot set aside for them with a particularly good-looking arrow in them.
Interesting.
One special socket like this on each of the 3 quivers.
And the arrow in it looks really good?
Yes.
Well, this will be useful for those of you who like to stand back a bit.
So I'll equip one of the quivers, and there was 20 arrows on each one, so that's 30 for me and 30 for Alexi.
I don't need
For
arrows.
Kashim.
Kashim.
Yeah, my bad.
I already have ranged weapons. They're called hand axes.
And did you find bows?
Two functional short bows, one requiring repair.
And what's the weight of an arrow?
Okay.
Don't worry about it. The
Okay.
weight is all there for completion's sake, but I'm not doing encumbrance.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, Tip's character. She can use a shield, right?
She, in fact, has a shield.
Oh, okay, right. Does anybody need a shield or can use a shield? I think everyone can.
I don't use them.
Whoops.
No, I cannot. I'm sorry.
I think everyone who can use a shield has a shield, except maybe Rye. I think Rye can use shield.
Really?
Let me check. I might be thinking of something else, but I could have sworn.
Yeah, it's not here on my proficiencies.
It only comes with medium armor proficiency.
Yeah, so no. Yeah, no, so I was thinking of something much earlier, so no. Yeah, everyone who can use a shield has a shield.
So, what is the damage type of a short bow?
It is 1d6 piercing damage. Or no. Yes, 1d6 piercing. Plus your dex mod.
Dex. God damn it.
Nice rolls.
I know, they're terrible.
Even with disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was rolling with disadvantage too.
Baka.
Let's see.
You're actually healing them.
Right.
Don't do that. So, and this is in character. Why were there 3 skeletons in a closet?
Well, some people have a very strange lifestyle.
Alright, there we go.
That room, there are arrow slits in that room. That was part of the battlements.
I think that's right. I'm not sure.
There's a red dragon that binds demons to his heart. There's clearly going to be some issues there. Head skeletons in the closet.
Is there a critical for short bow?
Don't fill that spot in. That's what was fucking everything else up, I think.
Okay.
It'll do it on its own.
Okay.
Did you hang on?
Oh, what's the range?
Shit, I just had it open. 80 slash 320.
Holy mother.
That's its range increment, and then that's its max range. So anything beyond 80, you roll at disadvantage.
But I could hit.
Need to fix this. Okay, now you're adding your dex modifier to damage.
Do we do that for the short bow?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yep. Unlike other games, you add your dex mod to your ranged weapons.
Neat.
Okay, there we go. So I got the plus 2%.
Yeah.
Alright, one more test roll. It's still 83 damage. That's not bad though. Alright. But it looks right. That's what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And I will unequip my quarterstaff from my hand.
Well, no, just keep it there
Whoa.
because you've got it. It's an option.
So I can just reach out. I can throw my bow over my shoulder and grab my staff. Whack.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going to be adding the scimitar to my list of weapons.
How'd you do that?
How do you only do 1 damage?
I didn't change the damage that was already there because it said 1d6. And apparently I needed to actually put in 1d6, so.
Yeah, you do. It's just like a placeholder. I figured that out too.
And I hope somebody's writing down the cash and everything you're getting.
I have been.
Okay, good. Because I have.
Oh, a quiver only holds 20 arrows.
Mm-hmm. But there's so you'd have to.
I'm just going to have the 1 quiver then. If you want the other 20 arrows, you're welcome to them.
A serious in-character response to Dara's question. It's not really a matter of why there were skeletons in the closet. It's a matter of who or what animated them.
So you're only going to carry the 1 quiver?
Yeah.
I guess I can carry 2 of them in the other arrows.
Well, yeah, that was implied in the question. Why?
Okay. So I've got 2 quivers and 40 arrows.
It's 11 o'clock. How is everybody feeling?
I'm feeling good to go for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I gotta be up in 4 hours.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
yeah. Let's be
All
done.
right.
Why
All
didn't
right.
you say something sooner?
Because this was the maiden run of this, and I didn't want to spoil it. I'll manage.
Okay.
But honestly, right now, things are kind of messed up here. Our hot water heater is busted, so I'm gonna be taking an ice cold shower in the 2 o'clock in the morning. Anyway,
Ooh, nice.
I'll be getting going and be alert.
All right. So we'll end there for the night. Feedback, comments, questions.
That's fun.
Like I said, I'm still having trouble focusing as much as I would normally focus on a game, but it's working.
Well, I mean, you're also playing through a computer as opposed to, in
Okay.
person. There's always kind of a little disconnect there.
Yeah.
If the dysfunction with the advantage disadvantage toggle clears itself up, I'm aces.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with yours. As I say, hopefully next time when we all rejoin, it will all be hunky dory. And I think as we get used to it, we'll also progress faster. I actually expected us to get through a lot more tonight. But there's a lot of setup and a lot of getting things off the ground, so.
Right. Experimentation, bugs.
Apparently, I'm terrible at adding weapons.
Do. All right, so.
Why is it giving it a 60?
What? Oh, the range?
Yeah, his range.
That's
so,
That's a placeholder. It's slightly grayed out, so there's actually nothing written there. So you can click on it and type in melee.
Okay. And then the
And then
damage.
same with damage. That's a placeholder in there, so you need to define the damage. Although I think a short sword is a D6.
Yeah, it is.
And then,
Scimitar is D6. That's what I picked up.
scimitar, right?
So
I didn't realize I had to fill it in.
I'm getting the 1d6 plus 2 for the short bow because it's a dexterity based attack.
Yes.
Ah, cool. Okay.
Yeah, ranged weapons, you use your dexterity bonus.
Awesome. Well, I also have a proficiency bows as a racial.
Uh-huh.
Does that give me anything bonuses for it?
Hold on one moment. Yeah, you want to click the proficient box.
It doesn't seem to do anything when I do that.
It's adjusting your attack bonus.
Okay, so it just does that automatically when it does calculate.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
How do you work out the range of a thrown weapon?
It's in.
Wait a sec. I think
Yeah,
I should
it's
just-
literally it's in the weapons entry. So the range of a hand axe is 20/60.
Looks like you got it right there.
Is there anything I need to do to the program, or is there anything I need to save before I close the browser, Knox?
Nope.
All right, I'm gonna take off. Y'all have a good evening.
Thank
Cool.
you much.
Good night.
Have a good one.
Sleep well,
Good night,
guys.
Tim.
This is actually a really cool application.
I'm glad you think so, because you were very adamant about making one for yourself.
Well, I still could. I'd be hard pressed to build one as nice as this.
I was
but
gonna say that would take a long time.
yes, it will. Most definitely take a while.
With
An app like this is definitely an application. I don't think. No, it is not in React. So it's probably Python based or Ruby on Rails. But I'm fairly positive it's using like a canvas to display this, like the dice rolls and the map and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's not that it couldn't be done in JavaScript, but I mean, there's a lot of logic in just the character sheet that I'm looking at right now. I'm playing with, and I mean, this integrates a character sheet, all of the logic of actually attacking and spells and whatnot, and then you got creatures in here as well. Visual representation of characters, creatures, and so there's a lot of code behind this application. So yeah, it would definitely take quite a large amount of time to build something equivalent to this and have the same functionality. I'm sure that this project was built by a team of people, not just one developer.
Yeah.
I just found out thrown hand axes use my strength stat. Which
cool.
means
Yep.
if I use a javelin, it uses my strength stat.
Yeah. The way thrown weapons work, generally speaking, is they'll use whichever stat.
Naturally comes for it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just direct up the rules for it.
You use basically if it's a melee weapon, you use the same ability modifier that you would use as if you were meleeing with it. So if it's a finesse weapon, you can use your dexterity should you so desire. If it's a regular melee weapon, you use your strength.
Yep, so I actually hit better with my thrown hand axe than I do with a bow.
Mm-hmm. You don't have the range of a bow, but
Yeah.
But the average time he's going to be using a thrown weapon is going to be very short range anyway.
Right.
given that these adventures also take place in a lot of tight corridors, and
Yeah. It's still hilarious.
By the way, Rick, who is that guy for your avatar?
Give me a sec. That is Fawad Khan.
I was going to
He
say photo stock.
Googled for like 2 hours trying to find the perfect picture for Kashim.
He looks all suave and whatnot.
He is suave and whatnot.
Yeah.
Have you met Kashim?
No.
Everybody else has.
Mm-hmm.
But now you have, kind of.
I was gonna say, and what I've got here is just a pale reflection of Kashim. I feel so ridiculously weak right now.
Not to mention, you're not really in your element.
No.
This is not where you shine.
No. Kashim probably would be better off as an NPC, actually. Get him into town. And he's gold.
I thought we were going to be starting in the tavern itself.
I thought I was abundantly clear that was not the case. I even said so a couple of times.
Yeah,
must
you said
have
it
missed
was
that.
you said it was a pretty standard dungeon crawl, but I had already said I'm gonna play Kashim, so
Well, yeah, it's a pretty standard dungeon crawl.
yeah. I'm in no way complaining. I'm just
No,
identifying.
not at all.
I mean, well, granted, you're also in like the first room.
Yeah.
This gets interesting the deeper in you go.
Cool.
Yeah, we're only just starting.
So.
I'm sorry I put Alexi in the front if that's taking up a lot of the...
Nope.
But I figured, in this situation, I'm the only one with armor class. If anything's gonna happen, throw it at me.
I'm laughing because, like, I'm used to people just finding all the traps, but you're like, doop-a-doop-a-doo, ah!
The thing is, do search, find nothing. Doop-a-doop-a-doo, find something. Damn it, search.
Well, now we know. Every time you go into a new area, new door, basically anytime the map changes, oh, I'm looking for traps.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Or, investigate a new surface, like pull a lever or something.
We could always just move at half speed and be searching for traps the entire time.
Well, no, that has nothing to do with it. Is that you check for traps on the staircase, you moved onto the balcony area, new area. Nobody said anything about checking for traps at that point, so
no, that was
you moved forward and.
No, I'm just saying we could make that a thing that we do. Is we move at half speed and we're searching for traps. Anytime we're moving, we could.
Don't just rush into a room. Which is what I was trying to do with the little room, but unfortunately,
things that the DM would need to be made aware of.
Yeah.
I am curious about one thing as well. So, like, when you're setting up a weapon in your attacks, the attack will say, like, your attribute plus blank plus proficient. What is the blank? Is that if it's a +1 bow or something like that, or?
I imagine so. Yeah, that would be for any instances of things like the weapon has an inherent bonus or whatever.
Right. Okay. I'm just curious because I know that typical weapons don't necessarily have like a special name, but like maybe it'll be a +2 short sword or something, and it gets a bonus from that.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see anything odd
Remy
in this
agrees.
hall?
I can turn the music off now.
I walk down the hall.
How's that? How's the ambience and stuff working for everybody?
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I wasn't actually expecting that, to be honest.
Did I say walk down the hall? I meant sneak down the hall.
So why didn't you say sneak before?
I shouldn't have to. I'm a thief. I sneak everywhere I go.
No, you don't. You don't
And so
sneak
when
around
we
in broad daylight. You
log
don't
back
sneak
in, our
around
little
in
dudes
church.
will be
No,
Bob.
but I do sneak around
Yeah,
in
so
a
long
danger
as
zone.
when you log back in, everything will be right where it is.
Did you?
Look, a thief of my level wouldn't just walk blindly
I
into
dig
a
it. I
possibly
think
trapped room.
it's definitely
You
work.
did.
I
But obviously, the
wouldn't
best
have
solution
if
is
you just-
everybody
Fine,
gathers
there we
together
go.
around the table. But
Oh yeah.
How'd you like my little opening monologue?
It was good.
yeah, I liked it. That could be a rough time for
Did I
Redneck
say
though, to
sneak down the hall?
fly out
Yes, you
to
did.
Texas every
Well, as a
weekend.
master thief,
Yeah,
of course
maybe.
I would know when to be wary of such traps.
Uh-huh.
Assuming he could even afford to do such a thing.
Yeah, that's a no.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. I can barely afford to drive 25 miles to town.
You're asking what we thought about the opening monologue. Wasn't it from the book?
No, that entire opening monologue I wrote.
Nice. I
Oh.
honestly thought it was from the book. It fit.
That was pretty epic, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta have a good story background, and when it's like not a script that someone else wrote, cooler. Gives more depth to our game. Customization.
Mhm. Well, my whole idea is I can't really quite do it as as I wanted, but I definitely my whole idea was this is taken from a book, Tales from the Yawning Portal, and I figured, well, it's got to be a group of people asking, Durnan to tell them a story, and well, first of all, Durnan, you gotta pay for his time, so.
Right.
But that was the framing device I wanted because this could be told as a story. My initial thought is I would be doing Durnan the whole time and narrating as him, but it's a little too tough to go back and forth between narrating that way and also explaining what you see and what you hear and what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I actually went through the PDF manual and I copied every single spell, all the details of my character sheet, and I put them in a notepad. And then I found out that I don't even need none of those. All of my details are right there.
Was it Rye or was it
Better to have
Kashin
and
who
not
ended
need.
up with
Yeah.
the extra bow?
Kashin.
I'm just keeping track of where everything's gone.
Mm.
Yeah, I got one of the short bows, 2 of the quivers, and 40 arrows.
Plus, also it's worth mentioning and remembering each quiver has an extra slot for a special arrow that you have not had an opportunity to figure out what they are.
Oh, okay. That might be one of those like flaming arrows or something, right?
Could be neat. Or I don't know. I mean, maybe they did what I used to do an awful lot, and make an arrow that makes other arrows, and you just sew that into the inside, and you never touch it.
It could be set up so if you put a magic arrow in there, it turns the arrows you use into magic arrows.
That'd be cool.
Well, he said there's already a really nice arrow in it.
Right.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Each slot has a special arrow already in it that looks, and the arrow itself looks, is set apart. It looks really, really good, like much higher quality. Despite the age of years, it looks pristine.
Neat.
I'm a wizard, by the way, Frick. So turning me into a pack mule, you ain't just like leaving arrows and quivers all over the place,
Not intending to.
Most of the stuff is probably ending up on Alexei because he's just so used to pack muling.
Oh, good. Good.
Well, he's already got so much stuff on him. No, I'm saying we don't want to overload Alexi, especially if he's going to be our frontline guy. Because Dara is apparently not very good at frontline.
No.
Well, you got surrounded very quickly by creatures that get advantage for being next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of sucked.
I'll be honest, when they dropped you, I had a mild panic attack. I was like, oh shit.
Right off the bat.
This is going to go bad real quick.
Yes, but fortunately I had some backup.
Right. What class is Dara again?
Thief. Assassin.
Thief. Oh yeah, so basically like a rogue.
Yeah.
One of the weakest classes known to man.
Shut up! Don't disrespect.
No, that's called a wizard.
Oh wait, whoa.
Something blinks at you wrong, you fall over dead.
When you see the kind of damage output a rogue can do at higher levels in this, it's scary.
I just haven't hit my stride yet.
Especially when she gets into going assassin. Oh man.
I mean, did you not see me just turn around and, you know what? Screw this, and drop both of them. Boom. At level 1.
relative, by the way. Weak is relative, as in like you fall like a sack of potatoes, but you can deal some damage.
Yeah, they're glass cannons.
Yeah.
There you
Except
go.
they're a little bit less glass and almost just as much cannon as a wizard. They just have less AOE.
Chris, put down the
And you're a
shovel.
D8,
Put down the shovel. Put down the shovel.
Your hit die is a D8.
Yep. That's still better than a wizard.
That is still better than a wizard. I'm the one made out of glass, but I have mage armor, so I have an armor class of 15.
Not bad.
For 8
But
hours.
remember,
But it's kind of the equivalent of wearing studded leather, I think.
Right.
I gotta point out, remember there are still anti-mage stuff that's out there.
Studded leather
Feels a
would
lot-
give you 14.
14.
Not bad.
15 is, I want to say, chainmail.
No,
Chain shirt?
chainmail is 16.
Chain shirt.
Oh, chain shirt, yeah.
Okay. I'll take chain shirt.
Which I think, well, no, I think a chain shirt is going into, is it still light or is that going into medium?
It's in
no,
medium.
I would imagine, yeah, chain would be medium.
Chain shirt's me. I'm trying to get myself a plate set for Alexi.
Those are expensive.
Yeah, but they turn him into a literal tank. All I then got to do is try and get myself some +1 shields or +2 shields. Or a +2 shield and at least a +1 set of plate mail, and it doesn't matter what's thrown at me, they've really got to roll high to even touch me.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I pulled it up. Let's see. Oh, plus dexterity modifier. Okay. That's right.
Yeah. Luckily with dwarves we completely and utterly ignore the negatives for wearing heavy armor.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, I would be scale mail to be at a 16.
And even then, your dex modifier bonus that you could apply to your AC would be limited to a 2. But
And I
the
have a disadvantage to stealth.
yeah. And I don't even think you're proficient with medium armor anyway.
No, I'm not. Why does padded
But-
armor have a disadvantage to stealth?
I was looking at that and thinking about it. I think it's because it's supposed to be like a gambeson, and they're really like bulky and hard to move in.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I was going to say, yeah, they're usually thicker because they're layers of cloth and they can be noisier and harder to move in, yeah.
Leather creaking, scale mail, chain mail clinking, plate clanking. I don't think cloth swishing would. I think
If
it's
you
the
really-
movement thing.
If he got really disgustingly wealthy, he could get mithril plate mail and not have disadvantage on his stealth checks. It was something I found hilarious as I was watching Critical Role, and like in their previous campaign, the big problem was that their life cleric, she's clamping around in plate mail, and everybody's trying to be stealthy. So she goes to like their enchanter friend, asking about armor that would negate that and that sort of thing. And Matt Mercer's humming and hawing, thinking about the enchantments and how expensive it would be. And I'm sitting here going, "Motherfucker, mithril!"
What's the significance of mithril versus plate?
Well, mithril's is the material.
Right.
It's a very
mithril-
nice, light but strong, sturdy metal.
Yeah, mithril armor removes the dexterity penalty. It removes the disadvantage penalty to stealth.
If you've
I
ever read
don't-
the Forgotten Realms series, they talk about mithril a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, it's Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Let me check. So I think that's the only thing it does, but I'm not quite sure.
I mean, for me, it doesn't matter at all because I have no armor proficiencies.
On that.
Yeah,
character.
you'd have to sink like 3 feats into doing that, and that's probably not a efficient use of feats.
No.
Although there is one cool one where it's medium armor mastery, where it increases the dexterity bonus you can apply to your armor while wearing medium armor.
Huh. Because I already got 2 modifier on my dexterity, so that would actually be.
Well, that's not what I mean.
Oh.
It's for when you're wearing medium armor. Caps how much of your dexterity bonus you can apply to your AC.
Mm-hmm.
So
And all
you can
of
only
it says 2.
Yeah, medium armor mastery increases that to a 3.
Oh.
But again, that's the choice of either taking a feat or increasing stats.
Yeah. I think it's just wiser to increase my stats, because if I increase my constant mage armor, I get, more AC every level of Constitution. Well, every level.
No. Your Constitution has nothing to do with your AC.
No, that's hit points.
Your dexterity does.
Yeah, it's my dexterity modifier.
Now, Constitution would be useful for you if you want to maintain concentration on a spell after taking damage.
Yeah.
But that's not a huge priority for you. You really want to be focusing on, obviously, increasing your intelligence.
Yeah, intelligence is where I need to focus on. If I wanted to worry about armor class, I could go with dexterity, but I need to get 2 points in dexterity just to get up to 3.
Well, fortunately, unlike other systems, when you get your ability point advancement, you either put 1 point in 2 attributes or 2 points into 1.
Oh, okay.
So, like at level, like when I played my Tiefling Warlock, I started with like 17, I think, in her charisma, and then like before you knew it, she had maxed out at 20 in her charisma.
Mm-hmm. So when I was reading about my class, obviously intelligence and wisdom are my primary traits, but it also states after those, dexterity should be, something considered.
Yeah, because you have to rely on your dexterity and most often mage armor or some sort of enchanted robe or something in order to not get hit.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but most of your skills and your saving throws are based around intelligence and wisdom, which is why they say those should probably be one of your higher ones. If you're building strictly towards, highest build efficiency.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to accidentally gimp your character in this unless you go out of your way to do it.
It could be fun.
I've considered the ramifications of trying to take like a low intelligence wizard. Not quite sure how it would work, but I'm sure it could be done. Because the fact of the matter is, as you notice, there's no base attack bonus progression, so everybody has like an equivalent ability to hit something as well as the fighter does. The fighter just has a wider range of things to bring to bear, and how the fighter hits things, either changes or gets better in different ways.
Yeah.
If he goes champion, he'll get an increased threat range, and he'll also attack more often than everybody else does.
Actually, so what it says here specifically is first intelligence should be your highest ability score, followed by constitution or dexterity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to do it exactly how they tell you to.
That's their quick build, but I feel like wisdom's going to be a very important skill for my character, specifically, just based on the ability or the skills that I chose.
Here we go. Sorry. Okay, yeah. So what mithril armor does is so a mithril breastplate or a mithril chain shirt can be worn under normal clothes. If the armor normally imposes disadvantage on dexterity stealth checks or has a strength requirement, the mithril version of the armor doesn't.
Oh, cool.
So like chainmail and slip mail and plate mail, you got to have a minimum strength to even wear it.
Yeah.
Mithril armor, don't have to worry about that.
That's pretty cool.
What book is that in?
The DM's guide.
Oh, okay.
That's where they keep all the information on all the magic items and stuff.
It's crazy. 8th and 9th level spells you only get one of. Ever.
Yeah, but that's all you need.
Just wipes everything
Worn
out.
under normal clothes. That's insane.
So those are like ultimate spells, like
Once you hit 6th level spells and above, that's where you get like the really ridiculous game breaking shit. You know, 9th level spells are where you'll find Wish and Meteor Storm.
right. That's pretty crazy.
Simulacrum, shape change, which doesn't sound impressive, but it's the version that's not limited. It's the one where you could actually turn yourself into an ancient gold dragon.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, that's where you get. That's where you get. Yeah, that's where you get. That's where you get. You know, power word kill, delayed blast fireball. I mean, those are the 6 and above are the really ridiculous spells, and there's a reason why you only like 8th and 9th you only get one spell slot.
Yeah. Be way too OP if you had more than that.
It used to be where you could, in other editions, where you know the higher your primary stat, the more bonus spell slots you got, and people would have a stat of 30 or higher, and so you would get bonus spell slots all the way up to 9th.
Right.
Whereas
So
in this, whereas in 5th edition, your stat naturally caps at 20, and it takes magic items to increase it beyond that.
Right. So you'd mentioned before we started that we're only going to go up to like level 3 or so.
In the course of this particular adventure, if people want to continue, do more, depending after all this, you know, it depends on how it all goes over the next few weeks.
Right.
You know, you could go higher. You could swap a character out for something else, because the whole point of me running Yawning Portal the way it is because they're all disconnected adventures, with the exception of the follow up to this one, and it's only tentatively linked to it. You know, the idea was to allow people the ability to experiment. It's like, okay, I've had my fun with this character type. Let me try this out instead. You know, swap out between adventures, or I'm not happy with my build, but let me try this again with a different character, or just rejigger the same character.
So I'm kind of gathering, though, the way that this game works is you get up to like level 15, 16, you're pretty much like a god.
More or less. You're
level 20 and you're almost invincible, basically.
No, you're not invincible. You are very powerful. I have seen a campaign go that high, but if a GM is not clever, they will not know how to challenge a party at that level.
Okay.
But
without just throwing
on
insane
average,
things at them.
Yeah, but like demigods or literal gods in the case of certain. Well, hell, fuck it. We've all played Neverwinter. You know, if certain things come to pass, yeah, you will go toe to toe with Tiamat. You will most likely not survive the encounter, even at 16 to 20, but
Right.
it is doable. I have seen it done. But most of the published adventures, the long, big, epic ones, they usually tend to cap out around 16.
Okay, and what's the kind of time frame that it takes to get there? Like, are we talking 6 months? Are we talking a year?
It depends on how often you're able to meet. It depends on how you progress. I am a big fan of using milestone progression rather than experience.
Right.
So to put that in perspective, now to get through Curse of Strahd, now granted, we had there were times, especially around the holidays, where we wouldn't meet for months and we only met bi-weekly at best to begin with. So bear that in mind, but it took us a year and a half to get through Curse of Strahd. And that only goes from level 1-ish, more like level 3 up to level 10.
Okay, so it could definitely take a long time to.
But again, we only met every other week, and then there were a few times where we didn't meet for several months just because schedules weren't meeting up and holidays and that sort of thing. Especially around the holidays, really hard to keep our games going. But chop that, you can chop that in half just by the bi-weekly meetings to begin with, and you're talking basically 9 months. If it were weekly, plus at least 1 or 2 months missed out, so 6 months.
All right.
I'm gonna stop recording.
Not nearly.
Yeah, you might want to do that. We've been going off for a while.